Why, hello, peasantry worker underclass. It is I, Ryblox Ratings Rumble Review. Actually, it's not, but I was going to point out I do love numbers. Numbers, percentages, statistics, and all kinds of cool stuff that show you how well your product is working in the real world. So let's discuss what the fucking idiot Vince McMahon has done to wrestling. The reality. Let me do the big rainbow jazz hands. Reality. Here's the reality, okay? It's really bad. And The Rock and John Cena suck. That's how bad this is. Okay. So, I'm not knocking Ryback, what Ryback was talking about on, if in case y'all don't know, the WWF is now the WWE, which I don't care about. But my point was, it's not wrestling. It's a fringe group that has fucking destroyed wrestling. Morons generally destroy their own industry because they're morons. So, I'm going to show you how dumb these fucking people are. Ryback is doing his video, and he correctly discusses, I'm not saying he's dumb, I'm saying he correctly discusses, yes, SmackDown last night, or the other night, where The Rock showed up for the first time in years, the Denver stadium, wherever they were at, don't know, don't care. Oh, it was a big pop. It was a big deal. And it's like, you know I'm going to do the numbers, right, Ryback? You know that, right? Billy Corgan is my entertainment lawyer. Do you really think I'm not going to do the fucking numbers on that? I'm going to tell you how bad wrestling is. And I've done this once in a while. I like Jim Cornette for this. Jim Cornette will pull out an old match from back in the 80s or something, and he'll say, well, this was the numbers on it and everything, and you can grab the numbers and go, okay, weather played a factor in this, it was in the heat of the summer, and that's what I like about Cornette, because you get him past the gimmick shit going into the numbers and stuff, and Cornette can teach you some shit about how crowds work, about how weather works, about traffic, about availability of air conditioning, all kinds of neat little shit, right? Length of the show, how it damages this and that with the crowd, Okay, so I know you think this is weird. It's not weird. Again, we're discussing a major corporation that is so desperate it's doing just blatant fraud in public about how great it's doing while it's going through all kinds of lawsuits and other shit. Which should make people chuckle, because this is how these fucking, not all companies, but this specific fucking company operates, okay? So, Ryback again was discussing The Rock going back to SmackDown, the heat, and also the stuff with Oprah, which I don't know what that's about. I'm assuming Rock running another fraud and scam deal. What are the odds he'd be involved in something like that? If you've not kept up with all lawsuits that come his way, he needs to get another accountant or something. He needs to get better legal advice on shit he should not be doing. Anyway, and so I thought, okay, let's do the numbers on this, right? From publicly available numbers that are going to be a little bit off, because WWE will not hesitate to lie to you about these fucking numbers. Okay, and even if they lie and they're puffing the numbers up, which they are, it's bad. It's real bad. Okay, so let's look at these numbers. And I was going to comment this to Ryback, and I thought, well, he don't deserve that, so I'll just do my own deal. I said, ouch, Rocky Johnson is just not pulling those numbers, and he never did. The flop of Black Adam, the other shit he's involved in, he's just not a pull. Hasn't been a pull in 20 some odd years, 25 years, 23 years. He's just not a pull. Okay? I'm not knocking Rocky Johnson on that. I'm just saying you're not a pull. That I can prove that with numbers. It doesn't have anything to do with his talent. How he uses his talent is his problem. Okay? Now, at this point, people just dislike him on sight. That's how he wanted to do it. That's what he's got. So, for much, I think it was TV Line or one of them. I tried to get different sources. The problem is they're never the same. But SmackDown had 2.445 million viewers, which was up 24% from last week's preliminary number of 1.9. The final amount for that was 2. Okay, 2. The final rating last week was 0.53. Not the Rock episode, but the episode prior to it. That's fucking bad. That's bad. And I said those are half of the 1990 numbers. That's how bad that is. A definite showing in how bad off WWE is at this point. A bump of only 25% in numbers with The Rock, and still 1/4 of 1997 numbers. Now, who do we get to blame for that? Oh, well, we can't blame Billy Corgan and we can't blame Ryback. Who are you going to blame for it? Now, here's my prediction. I don't know what they've done yet. Here's my prediction. Vince Russo said it's the hottest, greatest fucking thing ever. And, oh, man, the numbers. Okay, Russo's a fucking idiot when it comes to numbers, obviously. Okay. Bischoff, same dick sucking under the bridge. Greatest fucking thing ever. Man, look at those. Oh, such a hot pop. Okay, to be fair, they're going into work for the business on that. They're trying to say, keep business. We're trying to keep business alive. Okay, guys, I get it. Okay, I'm not in the business. You're not paying me, so I'm going to tell everybody exactly what's happening. Jim Cornette will probably say that, oh, it's the greatest fucking pop ever, but it's not. It's bad. It's fucking trash. Okay, so since it's Ryback's Ratings Rumble reviews, that is roughly, guess what, kids, 0.74. It's not even 3/4 of 1%. Interest by the entire American population. Okay? Less than 3/4 of 1% of the American population cared about the Pebble trademark or WWE. The super powerful, super great, brilliant, less than 3/4 of 1% gave a shit. That is roughly, now I did break this down because I had to go, I can't tell you exactly how exact their numbers are. That is roughly 1.45% of all adults 25 to 64. Which is not bad if this was the early 1930s. You'd have to go, there wasn't a lot of TVs around. That's pretty good for then. So, what did we learn from this? Not to listen to these fucking people. Okay, what did you learn? If you're going to throw money at a bad investment, what? Because all you're doing is tax sheltering your fucking money and trying to divest and all this other shit, diversify, just to, this shit. And look at those numbers. Those are bad, man. That is, how would you say? I'm trying to think of, let's look at AJ and the Y files. All right, and he's got significant background support in that network to get him where he's at on numbers. His numbers are better than these numbers. And he is a YouTube channel with, I don't know how many employees. I do know, well, but he did take the, what is it, the paycheck protection program. He did take some money out of that, like 25 grand. So 10 employees, I think is, okay, 10 employees and AJ on the Y-Files. Making roughly, what is AJ making? $15,000 a year? $20,000 a year? I don't know. I also don't know on his merch numbers. None of that's my business. My point was, his numbers are WWE numbers. Think of that. look at his operation of how little investment and funding is in AJ and the Y-Files and how much is in WWE. And they do the same numbers. So you explain to me why you are invested in WWE. That's bad. It's not even a safe investment. Your ROI would be fucking off the charts with the Y-Files. Now, again, I don't know everything on something like the Y-Files, on their real background numbers, etc. WWE is definitely not going to tell you real numbers. And they've cut a bunch of people in the back office, which is retarded. But that's WWE, and we agree that they're retarded. Okay, they're dumb as fuck. They're, as a quote media empire unquote, they're fucking morons. All right. So I look forward to seeing that shit collapse under Ari Emanuel, because a shitty Showtime or HBO show is not the reality, as he's getting ready to learn, and as us out here will point out. I'm trying to think of someone else recently. Anybody? Yeah, there are small YouTubers with 3-4 employees, maybe, that do better numbers than this. And you're just like, oof, man, that's bad, WWE. That is fucking atrocious. That is you taking the rope out, and David Carradine. That's how bad that shit is. Okay, so this is the reality of when technology changes. The customer, you, have a shitload more choices, and you say, you know what? I just want to hear about some retarded, dumb bullshit from AJ about alien ghosts. And you're like, what the fuck is that about? Who gives a shit? I'm going to watch it anyway. Right? In fact, AJ would be doing... Yeah, AJ would be doing... With the After Files, he would be doing the same amount, the length-wise, as a SmackDown or a Raw or any of those. The same length. 1 hour for the episode, the After Files being 2 to 3, so yeah. And he directly interacts. It's like, again, wrestling is fucking retarded. The people that run it. AJ is doing direct customer interactions. The same questions over and over. Whatever the fuck. So their team are doing, and they're doing it live. Like I said, pop-up wrestling. You watch. You fucking idiots just not going to do it. Direct customer interactions. Okay? And so, let's assume that AJ is raking in the bank, or some bank. I'm just going to point out, I just don't see how an investor with WWE would feel safe or secure in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying. When you start stacking up those real numbers, you're like, ow, fuck that, man. You cannot claim to be good at what you're doing when you're raking in 1930s numbers. 1930s numbers, Vince. That's fucking bad. That is fucking horrid. Now, somebody like Billy Corgan or the others will say, rightfully so, we're a small company. We are building out and up on our audience, just like AJ and the Y-Files, just like some of these other channels. And you go, okay, that's good. That makes sense. You're building up and out. You're building your media empire, right? What's your long-term vision and plan, right? I'm not a financial investor, but one would think it'd be common fucking sense, right? Questions that you ask. Hey, how many felonies you got? I need to know who's working with you that's sketchy as fuck, so on and so forth. Unlike Jim Cornette, the fucking idiot that lost millions to this fucking scam company and shit, which I was going to do a video on. But I was like, no, not really. Anyway, basically, some fake media company scammed a lot of scammers. And one of the scammers was Jim Cornette. I thought that was hilarious because Jim Cornette is known for fucking people out of money. And then he got fucked out of money. And Brian Last is bitching about it. And he was bitching about it to CoffeeZilla, who sold out, right? Doesn't give a shit about any real criminal. Now he's worried about some fucking kid that scammed a bunch of scammers. And I was like, well, if I was law enforcement, I wouldn't waste any money or time with this. Just call it justice is done and walk off, right? So that's just me. Anyway, and these other companies, of course, building up and building out. So if they're going to pull 400, 500,000 people, and their live shows are outgross of that, I hate to tell you, it's not the other way around. Your house show is not where people are going to run to the internet. You know, they're not going to watch a house show and go, ooh, I want to go to the internet and watch it. No, they're going to go on the internet and it'll be like, I ain't going over there to watch that. I mean, duh. It's a portal to the world, the old YouTube internet is. Now, younger people will be sitting around going, hey, I heard from so-and-so, I watched a YouTube channel, and they said, hey, Billy's throwing a match over here. Let's go over there. And see, Billy, Mr. Corgan, would obviously understands that. WWE and the others don't. It's like weird. They don't have any type of outreach, and none of it's grassroots. It's all shilling and garbage. I mean, I don't know anyone kicking down the door to go do that, go do anything. The last time I heard anyone that had any interest was Rousey and Becky Lynch. The man, Becky Lynch, I think it was. Anyway, so if any of you are ever interested in Ponzi scams, how they work, cult of personality, so on and so forth, this is a prime example of people that do not know what the fuck they're talking about, scamming you and telling you they do absolutely know what the fuck they're talking about. So, murmuration, if you will, so that bounces back to Sleek Chic and the others of you, you know what I'm saying? What is successful? For someone like Billy Corgan, I would imagine pulling those kind of numbers right here are fine in this day and age because he owns his own stuff. He's okay with it. He makes a profit. It's not super greedy or out of whack. He's good to go. He gets to have wrestling his way. Makes complete sense. He's not risky. He is risk adverse. Okay, which guarantees the NWA goes another 75 years. Okay, so he's like, well, I can either play the long game or the short, and we saw where the fucking idiots went with the short game. They're not even pulling 1930s numbers. So I'm going to stick with my stuff and just keep slowly building it. And you're like, well, if I was an investor, it would be Corgan. I'll take, instead of turning $1 into $5 and then losing $4 with WWE, why wouldn't I just take $1, hand it to Billy, let Billy keep that fucking dollar for 5 years and give me $3? And then I take the $3, give it back to Billy, so on and so forth. Because he's going to make me another $3. But people are greedy and dumb. And so their companies are greedy and dumb. Their viewers are greedy and dumb. They're flash in the pans. And WWE has long since died, which is what I pointed out in the Razzle Stonks. And this is Razzle Stonks. That's what this video is. A Razzle Stonks video about how did you not fucking see this at all? Because paid panhandlers out here are the reason wrestling is dead and nobody's interested in the shit anyway. Okay, so there you go. I'm just saying, these numbers, these are supposedly the top guys in wrestling, ever legendary, and they're pulling early 1930s numbers. Think about that. Think about that. These people couldn't pull a slow Tuesday on Jack Dempsey when he was doing his Carney phase in the late years. Again, it's a shame Napoleon Bonaparte don't sit down and go, WWE and you. Let me break this one down like I did the UFC. And it's like, ooh, man, you do that, your numbers are, you're going to be very sad. The numbers are very sad. Very, very sad. So, there you go, kids. If you want to invest money, go invest it. But I definitely don't do it in none of these fucking companies. Right? Wow, the products that they're selling are bad. It's just nobody is literally interested in this shit at all. As I just showed you. As I showed you, we would have to get in a time machine, go back to the early 1930s to watch the one TV set in the fucking whole neighborhood. Right? Everybody crowded around this one fucking set. And be like, oh man, the numbers are great tonight. Look at that pop that The Rock got. You know, now we're going to go out and we're going to go to the speakeasy. Right? We're going to ride around in our Model T that Henry Ford built us. You know, yeah. That's bad, kids. That's fucking, those are bad numbers. Really bad numbers. Okay? So, you can always enjoy watching the media shake out as these old, crusty dinosaur corporations begin to collapse. Which they are. They have been for a long time. But somebody like Netflix is going to survive forever because unless some weird shit happens. So as long as they keep up with the technology and understand crowds, they're good to go. They're great to fucking go. Okay? So there's no amount of outrage marketing that's ever going to say fucking wrestling. It is dead. DOA. In the water. DED. Dead. It's, yeah. Adios. The Rock, you couldn't save it. Which is what I said, Razzle Stonks. You motherfuckers ain't going to save wrestling. You wouldn't know what wrestling is, much less media or anything else. You sure think you do, though. And as we just proved, you don't know jack shit. So, I always find it amusing that there are YouTubers that I know that have bigger, better numbers than these fucking people. And you just go, okay, there you go. There you go. Why is anyone paying y'all money at all? Well, they're not. They're overpaying other people money. Here's $5, AJ. Here's one of these other people. Here's $5, Ryback. You know, here, da 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 da. You know, and you're just like, well, that's where all your money's going. That's because you're the fucking idiots, people. Not you, the listener. These wrestling experts, business experts, Eric Bischoff, all these other people that know everything, that don't know shit. Because here we are. Here we are, guys. You did it. You won. You won the battle, lost the war. Genius, motherfucker. Anyway, so you got your spike, and now 20 years of death. Great job, kids. Great job. But on a slow Tuesday, yeah, you could just pick a random Tuesday, and Taylor Swift could say, I'm going to sell as many tickets as possible on a Tuesday in October. Just somewhere randomly, I'm just going to go to this football field, this high school football field. It's got great parking though, and I'm just going to sell tickets. And she could do it. She could announce it 3 days, just have a 3-day window to buy tickets, and she will do better numbers than all of y'all. That is fucking crazy. That is how you know she's good at what she's doing with her team, and how you people are fucking idiots. Okay? That's how you know. And she does not have to jump off fucking stage and kick someone in the face and break her leg. Okay? So, there you go, kids. This was Ryback's Razzle Stonk reviews. Razzle Stonkin'. Actually, Ryback does need to do that. Razzle Stonkin'. Mark for Life and Ryback's Razzle Stonk reviews. And just so he can go, ooh, those numbers are atrocious. You can always tell the dick suckers that come out here because they're so desperate for a penny from WWE or any of them. They will literally sit there and go, oh, 20 people in my neighborhood watch wrestling. Oh, man, the numbers are great. No, motherfucker, no. They were heroin addicts that passed out while it was on. There was literally nothing else on TV, and they passed out. You know what I mean? They forgot to turn the TV off. Anyway, so there you go. Ryback's Razzle stonking. Don't do it, kids. What I mean is, go find somewhere else to put your money in it. Yeah, WWE might do some bumps here and there, but I wouldn't waste my money with them. That's just me. Just saying.